On average, there are approximately 80 confirmed and unconfirmed tornadoes that touch down in Canada each year, most occurring in the southern Canadian prairies, southern Ontario, and southern Quebec. The most common types of tornadoes in Canada are F0 to F2, with fewer than 5% being F3 or higher. An F3 tornado is considered to have winds up to 332 kilometers an hour or 206 miles per hour, cause severe damage, will rip off roofs and walls, trees in the bush will be uprooted, heavy cars and trucks lifted off the ground and thrown. The weather forecast for August 20th, 1970 was sun and cloud with a chance of showers.
The freak windstorm first struck a little after 8 o'clock this morning, and within half an hour had caused damage running into hundreds of thousands of dollars. This house belonging to Lloyd Prowse was blown completely off its foundations. He was in the house with his wife and son at the time. Where? Could you point it out?
Yeah, right over, right there. There's the side of it right there.
Oh, the white? Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the garage landed. There's where the snow machines landed. So everything was just circling.
Mr. Prowse wasn't alone in losing his home. Dozens of families stayed with friends overnight, leaving their shattered houses for the cleanup men. Police are still searching piles of rubble, but so far they report only one death in Lively, a man killed while at work.
My name is Ron Jodway. In 1970, I was a member of the Coppercliff Police Department. On August 20th, 1970, was woken up by the winds, which were quite loud. A short time later, I received a call from police headquarters instructing me to report to the office immediately. I was assigned to proceed to Lively. We secured a town to prevent people from coming into the town until we could completely check the damage and any injuries or possible fatalities.
This partially destroyed frame house used to be home for Blanchard Bell and his family. Now he's moving out. Excuse me, sir. Were you in this house when this happened?
Yes, he was.
I wonder if you'd mind explaining in your own way exactly what did happen.
Well, just a bad windstorm. Caught us by surprise. I just got up to close the bedroom windows, and as soon as I got them closed, they smashed open. Glass flying everywhere, and mud and pieces from the garages there. All these garages that blew down, and scared us half to death.
I imagine you lost some of your roofing.
About half the roof is gone. Part of that wall in their living room. But nobody got hurt anyway.
Who else was in the house apart from you?
My wife and 4 kids.
Did they scream or?
Oh yes. We started downstairs and we met them halfway on the stairs coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And by then it was over.
A few miles away from Lively is Copper Cliff, scene of another freak accident. The storm blew down a heavy steel trestle just as a CPR train was about to run under it. The train crashed into the trestle and canted on its side. One child was injured. There were no other casualties.
This is the area of Coppercliff and what would have been INCO's old iron ore plant in 1970, where the 2,500 feet of trestle was demolished by the tornado. As the storm continued east towards areas of Robinson and Lockerbie, it went past the superstack, which was under construction. It swayed in the wind, but was not heavily damaged. There were 6 workers on the construction platform at the time, and thankfully all survived.
The trestle was used for supplying material to a smelting plant. The plant has closed down until a new viaduct can be built. In the mining town of Sudbury, with a population of about 40,000, Mayor Joe Fabro declared his community a disaster area.
Hey guys, Jamie Phillips here from Pinetree Line Productions. What I'm going to talk to you today about is the storm that hit my hometown of Labby, Ontario, Canada, August 20th, 1970, 50 years ago. I wasn't born at the time, but this is a story that my mother and father has told to me many times. It happened at 8:30 in the morning. And the storm that hit Lively that day, it came out of nowhere, and nobody was prepared for it. Nobody even knew it was coming. At 8:30 in the morning, you would think it was just an ordinary day, and it got so black and rain and wind that day that they actually thought it was nighttime. It come through and it was over in about 4 minutes. My mother's story and my father's story to me was, my father was working underground at the time at Creighton Mine for INCO, and my mom was at home with my 2 sisters. The storm come through so fast, she didn't even have time. She just grabbed my 2 sisters and took cover. It come through so fast. The dog that she had let out just previous to the storm coming through, we actually lost our dog that day. My dad, he actually come up to surface and grabbed a truck and took off and come home and seen, driving through Lively, all the damage was done. And he was really afraid that when he got home, that damage was gonna hit home. And lucky enough, it did not.
6 people died, over 200 injured, over 300 people left homeless. The only recorded tornado in Northern Ontario history. There was no warning as the Sudbury airport didn't have a radar to detect tornadoes. The first public indication was a woman who called into the local radio station CKSO indicating her house was being blown away. $17 million in damage, which is the equivalent of $114 million in 2020.